And the wild red angry man appears to give you his infinite wisdom. Oh wait, what's that? I will be reacting to other people's infinite wisdom. Much easier. But I have a starting point. What do you think about this insight? If you can be level 3 under pressure, you're level 4. Those are the rules of life. The more pressure you're on, it also counts as level up. It just doesn't, like, register because people are not letting you go. They're holding you down. They're holding you hostage to lower level perception, desperately, keeping you in a cage. The scary part would be to be level 5 while being level 4. That's way scarier because it's beyond reality now. So when I'm here and I still feel pressure, it's very unlikely because when you go through a lot of pain, you get desensitized, first of all. Very little amount of sources can actually deliver enough pain for you to actually care. Except the government. The government fucking pisses me off with their stupid rules and regulations and demands and difficulties of doing anything. They just take and take and take, but they don't actually encourage anything. Except in my life, you know, when you get benefits, that's a huge encouragement to survive. Otherwise, it would be quite a struggle, I can imagine. Then at the same time, the world would be different, right? You just see the world for what it is. If I'm getting benefits, I'm not going to question that because I can't change that. It's not my system. I can't... There's no reason to complain about it. You can acknowledge it and move on. There's a lot of things you can't change. And again, that includes the pressure that people put on you, right? They have their insecurities, and they pick targets. Or abandon you, which is equally as messed up. They can try and excuse themselves of like, I was really busy, I was really doing that thing. But it's very unlikely that their excuse is going to hold up. I think under capitalism, that's what people do the most. It's the greatest excuse of like, well, I can't do this right now. For sure, for sure. People can't split their attention in a natural way. As if they're on a fucking highway. As if they're running too fast, living too fast. Too many things going on. Too much stuff to think about and worry about. I can't add more things at a whim. But the problem is, like, you should be able to. You should be able to be open to any resource that comes your way, that flows your direction. You should be able to take advantage of that. And when people don't know how to do that, well, I call those kind of people not knowing how to use the internet. This is my new thing right now. This is the thing that I repeat. And it's not in my consent. People who receive resources and don't know how to use them. It's fascinating. It's the saddest thing, basically. It's actually incredibly sad. To the point where, like, the hopes and dreams go to the next generation. This generation has to at least figure it out. Of like, yes, you have not known how to use the internet this whole fucking time. At least admit, right? Only when people admit their faults can we start solving the problem in the first place. It's that bad. If people don't admit, I mean, we can't do any progress. That's like the ultimate brain rot move. I don't admit to anything. I don't care about anything. Leave me alone. I do whatever I want. La 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 la. Brain rot. Nothing can change under brain rot. Not a fucking thing. People are way too happy to not do any self-improvement whatsoever. You don't even know what it is, necessarily. They ignore the idea of it entirely. You can only use level 1 people just to collect clicks on something. But the question is, what are you collecting clicks on? that's what makes the difference as well. If you're just funneling, or you're feeding the brain rot by becoming a brain rot content creator, I mean, you haven't done much. You just sit on top of the brain rot, you acknowledge what it wants, and you give it to them. You can also be the best brain rot content creator. You also defeat all the other brain rot creators for the sake of feeding brain rot to other people. It's like, wow, it's so fancy. But it doesn't go that much deeper than that. Like, you use level 1 people, you use their evil, you have harvested their nonsense, basically, and fell into their quicksand yourself, right? I imagine quicksand was just a brain rot definition of the past. It's like, shit, man, I'm surrounded by all these fucking brain rot losers. And there's more and more of them. I gotta get out of here. I feel like it's in the past now. Because people are only openly brain rots, either as a dog owner, I guess, as a child owner, maybe, as a motorbike owner. It's anything that causes noise and fears, basically. If they own that, they can cause brain rot that way. But normally, in the streets, they don't fucking do stupid shit. They do stupid shit on the internet, because it's easier. Level 1 people. No one's forcing you to do brain rot things, by the way. Being evil is a completely different ballpark. It's a different flip the script moment where anything is possible, technically. I don't want to tell you what's possible under evil, but everything that is normal, unlikely under evil, unlikely. Normal person eats food, evil person should not eat food. Nuh-uh, don't do that. Wrong. Rather, evil person is food. Mm-hmm. And it's at least content. And, yeah, the last thing I have to say is, like, we don't know how to fight evil. We're so ignorant to so many things. We haven't actually, like, built a proper language to even, address issues. The thing that I'm, building, but it's like, I still feel abandoned, so, like, am I making progress or not? And to me, TikTok is a little bit of brain rot of, like, people have to shove their faces, basically. For what? To, like, appear human? I guess? It's almost like they also don't know what they're doing, and they're also, like, surveilling themselves, in a way. So yeah, level 1 people exist, and you have to acknowledge their existence. You don't have to play by their rules and their games. You don't even have to harvest their attention, necessarily. If you can acknowledge that they exist, you're gonna feel a lot easier on yourself. Because you don't have to impress these losers, right? They're the loser package of humanity. And there's a lot of them. And usually, what a loser does is never admits that they're losing. That's the fucking problem. They want to live in their own little bubble, and you immediately realize, the moment you point out their tiny flaw that they just so fucking fixated on spamming the same shit. Again, that's why I call them brain rots. They usually spam their own thing. Like, they don't actually care. When you see their, like, chat log or something, they don't care how they treat others. And if someone catches them, they don't admit they're wrong. Simple as that. They're sore losers. They want to stay a fucking loser. They want to do their thing so badly, even if it's meaningless, right? Even if it's harmful to other people. Then there's level 2 person, which is now like, I did so many things, why am I not successful? What's happening? For the longest of time, you can feel like a level 2 person on YouTube until you're just like, well, there's nothing really I can do to actually get out of this, right? Yes, other people can do their own thing and they might be successful, but it's all individual basis anyways. You could throw a teenage tantrum, you can start begging people for attention, you can do self-harm of various kinds. Just, you can lose your shit. You can corner yourself because of just sheer complexity of the situation. But the moment people call you crazy, now things are different. You start wondering of, like, why do they care? Right? They never actually cared, but why do they actually care? To see the bad thing out loud. Not to worry. Like, if they call you crazy, and you kind of know these people, if they start backing away, or talking about you behind your back, now you're wondering, like, maybe I'm not a loser, right? Maybe it takes time. But within the relationship with other people, you realize you better, because you would never do such a thing, which is like just straight off, right off someone's behavior without attempting to communicate with them. Shit behind someone's back is pretty fucking teenage tantrumy. Up front, you get nothing. Alright, from level 2 people, you get nothing. They want to shit behind your back really badly, but they have nothing to offer to you in person. They want to observe you from a safe distance where they don't have to participate. And it's like, well, that's why you lose. You're only participating partially. And a person who feels like a loser, but he actually did something, like he actually uploaded a YouTube video, he actually responds to comments. Level 3. If we're doing it, we're doing it, right? We're talking about all the losers. Level 3 people can now project some form of success. They have done something. And the only thing that can bring them down is satisfaction that what they have done is enough. Even if it's not 100% successful, just 1% successful, the fact that you did it is good enough for you, right? You have to be very careful from being satisfied into a passive state of mind. Not gonna sit here for too long. You become level 4 when you know you're best at something. And yet that's still not enough, because you will have to learn how to not shut up about it, right? How to, like, constantly make people care about that thing that you're the best at, because that thing is probably the best thing you have, right? So right now, that's my biggest pitfall that I have to work out. Again, you can become the best at something. You can become the best at a lot of things, but then it's a little bit of a distraction. It's a little bit of like a never-ending battlefield. You can't have multiple things that you're the best at. It's a fork in the road. And even then, like, even if you are the best at something, you might not be impressive. People might not understand what that thing is. You can either bend reality, get a big number of subscribers, like something that indicates that you're the best at something. So you never forget, most importantly. But you can always tell to the other person as well, whenever they are curious. Alright, those are the levels that I know of, okay? Well, there's another interesting factor. Whenever you're the best at something, you can potentially earn resources that unlock your ability to be the best at other things too. To the point where people will be like, okay, you do that, I guess. They will let go. because you have enough intimidation power of like, yeah, I can deal with this thing too. And people just let go. They don't try to beat you anymore because you already established integrity. If you try to be the best at something else, they know not to fuck around and let go of the spot. So we're all in this fairly competitive, self-improvement marathon, if anything. And there's people out there, okay? That's important. We're gonna go back to this muscle thing, by the way.
Muscle of a 30-year-old that does lift weights. This is the leg muscle of a 30-year-old that doesn't lift weights.
30.
This is the leg muscle of a 70-year-old that does lift weights. This is the leg muscle of a 70-year-old who doesn't lift weights. The difference at 30 is noticeable. The difference at 70 is...
Imagine how noticeable Technoblade is.
This is a perfect example of the importance of good design choices when...
Again, I already found something really crazy. It's like, oh well, I guess my cancer research lasted 2 days. So if you go to the forest once a week, you're just automatically healthier. It's fresh air, but it's also very healthy air. Brought to you by trees themselves, because trees themselves are trying to protect themselves from diseases. Oh, it's almost like nature has thought about a lot of things already, Not only that, I saw a TikTok where it's like, it was about teeth and how teeth are rotting because of our diets. Sugary and starchy diets. It makes sense, although I would add, it's not just that, okay? My teeth personally have crumbled, not because of sugars, alright? Because they just hurting each other, they smashing into each other. My jaw is getting smaller. We already saw the graphic of what it looks like. You have to train every single muscle because every single muscle is collapsing. And we're getting somewhere, We're actually getting somewhere. We're getting real insights, it seems. One at a time. We can't have it all. We can't be the smartest without acknowledging that right now, we're as smart as we can possibly be. Alright? We have the most capacity to consume information. And even me, I'm at my 30s, and I still have to, consume information one at a time. Using the latest technology, I can only do that. That fast. So what people were able to even do back then, not much. Most of the time, I feel like people die from lack of knowledge. Which is why it's 10 times more important to survive than you think. Everyone has lack of knowledge, and everyone has to open their minds to just collecting knowledge. You can accidentally become the best in the world just by doing that alone. Accidentally. You can connect the dots. It will take an incredible amount of time, but if you open yourself up, that's a big improvement. But it's not only that, it's the fucking survival thing in the first place. Knowledge doesn't take time, it gives you time. It's a positive trait that you desperately need. Knowledge tells you how to live longer every single time. There's no doubt about it. Every single time. 100% of the time, effectiveness against death is knowledge. Because you fight bad decisions. You fight every type of death as well. So when someone says cancer, I do recognize what cancer is. It's a type of death. Okay, it leads to death. So the next thing you have to do is collect knowledge about it as much as possible. And, fake it until you make it as well. People do that a lot. Okay, people fake their level of confidence. And it's somewhat okay if you can balance it out. People call out misinformation, but it's like you have to let people fake their self-esteem to some extent. but also build tools to be able to debunk them when it's juiced up, when it's ripen to do so. Because otherwise you're just like plucking unripened eggs of like apples and you're throwing them away. You don't even know who they are in the end of the day. They're not rotten, clearly. Just because an apple is capable of rotting doesn't mean that that's what they're gonna be doing in the end of the day. Yeah, so it hurts to like be pursued by haters or by the system when you're not that big anyways. You're not an impact to the platform anyways. And somehow I cannot actually compete in the big leagues, right, without this ultimate masked manipulation. Wear a mask was the weirdest thing to be told to do, because there's the psychological mass manipulation. You have to, like, bend yourself, contort yourself into a version that people snap understand. You have to put on the fucking nerd glasses to look like a scientist. You have to hold a gun to look like a fucking policeman. Like, you have to portray a character to quickly convince people to be on your side. Or you have to get away with a lot of like nasty things like spamming, but it still appears of like, well, no, I'm spamming because I'm trying to help people, you know? It's so weird, but it's everywhere on the internet. Yeah, I still remember the level 2 to level 3 phase where people treat me like crazy. But what they actually were doing behind the scenes is just, you know, entertaining themselves. Because they wouldn't be able to do anything at all. Right? They're not action takers. They don't do shit in their lives. They're just spectators. They can spectate up close. They can sort of simulate a friendship. But they're also willing to backstab you and not be honest all the way. And that's the difference. Also, look at my alien language.
Trying to get customers to buy stuff from you. Notice how you could put a cup in literally every single place in this table, but customers aren't taking any of them.
But convenience is king.
They're only taking the cup that's low friction.
These customers are in a hurry, though.
And easy for them to grab. This is the exact same principle that should be used in any circumstance in business, but especially when it comes to online shopping. One of the best historic examples of this is the button known as Continue as Guest. When Best
That is fascinating.
If I
though,
added this
right?
button, it decreased shopping friction for the customer, which led to a 45%.
Yeah, because you're allowed to do more with less commitment,
increase
right?
in sales that year and made them an extra $300 million with a simple button change. But it's not just about friction, it's also about making a simple, obvious choice for your customers. For example, writing at a 5th grade reading level converted at 12.8% compared to 5.5% for professional level writing. So if you want your customer to take any action, but especially
What was that? I don't get it. There's way more examples of convenience, by the way.
Natural diet never gets cavities. Many tribal people never
So yeah, here it is. Here it
get
is.
cavities. Neither animals nor tribal people brush their teeth. So why do modern humans have to brush?
Brushing in general, again, I'm telling you, is total garbage. It's better to mineralize your teeth. But I did buy myself a miswak, I guess, for toothbrushing. I still haven't done the tech blade video for this, but it's very simple. It's like just a natural toothbrush instead. Whenever you feel like you really need it, by the way. Obsessively brushing? Nah, not for me. Again, my biggest problem is my teeth are collapsing. It's a whole different issue than them rotting or having bacteria on the surface. And it's a waste of time. It's such a aesthetic boost instead of actual, like, confidence boost. If you want to boost confidence, you want your mouth to feel clean, not your teeth. First and foremost.
Their teeth twice a day but still end up with cavities? The answer is simple. Consuming sugars and starches too often will rot your teeth. Meat and
Too
fat
often.
do not rot your teeth. If a lion loses its teeth in the wild, it will die.
Now, it's a scary thing for, like, vegans to accept. But I don't want to eat animal. But animal is not the same as eating human. Eating animal is like eating nature. Or lesser creatures than you. At some point you have to even ask, like, why does nature even exist like this in a form of animals? Nature is probably just mimicking humans. And at that point, if we don't like the animal, we can just copy and paste the animal that we like for their meat. Why not? Like, why stop the whole process? Again, I found meat to be just as cheap as the rest of the foods. And guess what? The rest of the foods are like 70% water anyways. It's pretty, or more. There is a clear, like, difference between water foods and non-water foods. If water is already convenient to us, then, like, great. But that's the problem, right? That's why nature potentially is mimicking us, is to give us food in the first place. What if animals were meant to be food this whole time? And yes, mimicry is also very amusing. It's very amusing to watch animals, and some of them are hardly edible. Some of them actually encourage eating animals. You know, some have to be predators and be like, why human not eat animal? What's wrong? Why you project so much humanity onto an animal? Said predator. So what's up with that? Are you scared you're gonna eat other humans as a result? I don't think you're gonna do that though, right? So that's the way I see the, the whole eating animals thing, I guess.
Kept in captivity and fed a poor...
And why I want to side with this guy at the current moment until I get debunked.
End up balding and losing their teeth. This goes for any animal that strays from its natural diet. This is why many domestic...
But it's not just diet, okay? It is also captivity. Right? We should never forget, like, it's so convenient for every single American, it seems to forget that muscles also matter. And again, especially when it comes to teeth, okay? Muscles matter. Activity matters. Blood flow matters. That shit matters even more. But it's easy for Americans to forget because they lose their wisdom teeth. That has, like, the most stem cells, by the way, so... I'm not touching the wisdom teeth. I'm not letting anyone ruin my body in their own accords. Anyone make decisions on my body. My body makes its own decisions. I don't even have to do decisions. I just have to, like, exercise the body and keep the high esteem. Right? I have to do some basics, but no one has to touch my body. Okay? Your body has to remain a temple. You can't just let every single doctor that ever existed grope your body till the day you die in hopes that one doctor will grope your body so well you're gonna live 3 days longer. I mean, it's fucking crazy. This guy already, like, discovered that through research, alright? I'll take his word for it. That back in all days, people were fine. People were fine. Back in the old days. See, that's another weird thing about capitalism, is loneliness is unhealthy. Loneliness can put you in unhealthy habits, and you have to fight back against that. Just survival alone. That's it. You can't do more. You will not be able to do more under capitalism ever, dude. There's no fucking way. Just survive. See, I got banned from a lot of Discord channels. Almost to only realize right now, as I think about it, I should have just tried and survive instead of be a nuisance, instead of be, on top for a moment. For as long as I was able to be on top. But at some point, people get very, very tired. And there are traps, and against traps, you just block them. You block the traps. the rage baiters, the brain rots. You gotta block them out. That's how valuable survival is. You have to care about it. I'm not saying that things would have played out differently, and I wouldn't have gotten myself blocked if I did the right things. Because you can be clingy as well. That's one of the things that, well, capitalism doesn't enjoy seeing. Everyone becomes very insecure when you cling on to them, even a little bit. And it pisses me off, of course, because it's just a very weird behavior. Humanity has a big flaw right now. They don't know what to do in these situations. And this fucking causes me too much pain. But that doesn't mean I have to give up. It's just people are so allergic to other human beings. They're allergic. They can okay, I can look at it and touch it and oh, I have to go now. My head will explode. Why are people allergic? Because there's a lot of suffering. And they don't want to be the ones to actually try and fix the suffering that has accumulated in another human being. This is also explaining why a lot of people snap. Right? I mean,
Cats and dogs.
that is the consensus. People snap and do crazy shit. There's just a lot of suffering and people don't want to hear it. They don't want to deal with that. They, again, either are brain rot losers who don't care and will tell you that they don't care in front of your face, or they just spectators to where you ask them to participate properly and they can't do it. Levels exist, and it pisses me off that we don't label people accordingly, right? Even in the comment section, you can range from almost every level. If people have seen that I'm level 4, they would treat me differently because I'm best at something. I would at least have the fucking label attached to me of who I am. Confirmed that, yeah, this guy's best at something. So internet doesn't know how to use itself, first and foremost. I can't just blame women necessarily because internet doesn't know how to use itself. But I can blame women for not ever making a social media site of themselves. They would probably do a much more sophisticated result or a project that's more empathetic, but also more organized.
But we as humans should not need to brush our teeth. The Inuit don't brush their teeth, and the ones that are still eating a natural diet have no issues whatsoever. They don't even have crooked teeth, because they were able to fully develop from getting all of the nutrients that they needed to thrive. The best argument for the...
It is what it is. Capitalism is has another factor to it. Is bloating. There's too much things happening in your life to the point where you can, in fact, be lonely and isolated because of all the things that are possible. So freedom can give you so many things. And again, I have seen the whole process since day one of my life. I've seen the whole process of capitalism evolving in my fucking face. All right? Capitalism told me every single thing about itself. Not a sentence has been missed. I am one of those generations that found that you can use the internet, you can use a computer, you can use different consoles, and things just kept getting better, but you might have missed that fucking portion where those things didn't exist in the first place. But what it does, it bloats your life. It bloats your life with all these things that distract you from most important thing, which is being healthy. That's crazy. That should fucking make you worry, right? That's just what you can expect to happen under capitalism, is that you're going to be accidentally unhealthy. But there's a way out. You can buy things that make you healthier, right? Instead of just focusing on unhealthy things, instead of just being distracted, you can, sometimes buy something that will help you be healthier, help you exercise more, help you eat healthier food or whatever. And most importantly, I had to buy headphones to, block ears because ears are under attack nowadays. Alright? Having ears is a fucking liability. In fact, when I'm thinking about it, did I ever fucking need ears in the first place? It feels like ears was always a stupid thing to, have across entire life until you have face-to-face conversations. In every other fucking circumstances, ears are fucking bullshit. Look at that. Flawless design. Flawless. You couldn't get any better than this. No, I'm not saying that ears are bad. I'm saying that ears detect evil, first and foremost. It's the first evil detection tool. And the last evil detection tool is smells. Because that's what evil is using. Evil tries to smell you, while you try to hear the evil. Also, let's add the idea of you can buy things to organize your room and clean your room better. You can buy something to make yourself feel more comfortable. Any stress reduction, any friction reduction. We're going to talk about a lot of these things in next year. Gonna go feng shui. Let's go.
Carnivore diet is that countless people have reversed their dental issues by simply going.
Imagine being a bird. You don't even have teeth because they're gonna rot.
The carnivore diet. This, in my opinion, is very plausible evidence that humans should be eating primarily animal foods with sugars and starches consumed only on rare occasions.
I mean, it's not like vegetables have sugars and starches. Well, potatoes have starch, but you're an salted potato, asshole. Why would you do that? The funny thing is, you can feel what is rotting your teeth. You can feel the acids that certain foods have. That's the first and foremost culprit. You first have to neutralize the acids, only then worry about, eating more animal meat in case you're not eating any at all because you're so scared of it or something. You have to do things step by step. People have unhealthy habits like drinking energy drinks. Of course your teeth are gonna rot, okay? The energy drinks are made out of sugar. It's a liquid sugar, basically. The way I see it. It's even worse if it has, glucose, fructose syrup bullshit. That's the worst thing, bro. That's liquid syrup or liquid sugar. If sugar was a syrup, I guess. It's crazy. They just add that shit everywhere, and it's actually acidic too. It feels acidic. And it's so annoying to have acidic mouth all the time. It's the most annoying thing. That's why I actually have something, guys. I have something. Let me check. This is what I see on the label. I bought some ginger, basically. Yeah, cabbage infused. Well, whatever the fuck this is, because this seems very similar. Pickled ginger. Maybe it's not even cabbage. Maybe that's just what it is. I desperately needed something to cleanse my mouth, because my mouth is constantly just bombarded by shitty foods or shitty drinks, or just whatever is left over. Your self-esteem is even more important than your health, because your self-esteem dictates your mood, first of all, right? Your mental health. And then your mood dictates how much stress you're ongoing. And then how well you get rested as well, how much you worry about things. You fix your self-esteem first, only then you can worry about health, if there's even anything left to worry about. Because usually it just fixes automatically when you're not looking, when you don't have to spectate that process. You only have to spectate the pain, okay? The pain of the process, and then you have to do serious conclusions of what you're changing in your life if pain happens. Y'all are weird.
Learn a new skill to get a better paying job. That's all you
This is just has to be said.
gotta do. My brother in Christ, we all can't be software engineers working in Silicon Valley making 6 figures a year. Someone has to work at the grocery store you go to. Someone has to work at the gas station.
And someone has to protest and not collect garbage anymore. And then they show you that, oh, rich people can't do everything themselves, can they? Money can't just magically do everything. Especially if you not give enough money to incentivize people to work. Uh-oh. TikTok's sometimes garbage, too.
The prostitute who saved my life with Narcan was black. The drug dealer who looked out for me on the streets, he was Hispanic. The corner store owner where all us homeless people hung out was Indian. Here's what surprised me the most about that. When someone needed help on the streets, no one cared what color you were. At the very bottom of society, where the world tells you to expect nothing but racism and division, I found people who looked out for each other. The streets taught me something I never...
Usually, I mean, that's racism. If racism puts someone in the bottom or fixates people or makes them helpful to people in the bottom, that means segregation has dumped them here, right? Segregation made them more human. There's definitely cultist behavior that you don't want to be happening. You want diversity. I still feel like diversity is mythical creature, though. But on the internet, hey, I don't even have to think about your skin color at all. It's not a thing, right? So beautiful. I don't care where you come from. So we're not seeing like the differences necessarily. You don't have to identify the irrelevant things. You just have to be a human person. But at the same time, half of the internet is already dead, so too late for that to be a scapegoat. Plus, I don't trust comment sections anyways, because they're toxic more than they're helpful. It's weird. Like, you would love to try and make a conclusion like this. You would try. But it's hard for me to buy it.
expected. When survival becomes your common language...
I completely understand that, like, poor people are more generous. And other people from different races are poorer. So they're just more generous. They come from more generous places. And white people are generally fucking assholes. And I have to live, you know, surrounded by assholes. I feel the whiteness all over me. Oh, and when I say surrounded by white people and that's toxic, what I mean by that is every single fucking neighbor that is next to me has tried to pull out a noise tirade against me, so, you know, I had to fight back. I'm not just pulling that shit out of my ass. I had to fight the stupid whiteness of other people. And I wish I wish I would be able to know what other races feel like. Because again, they're slightly more poor. Like, white people, they're not poor enough to actually be nice to each other. They're only poor within, in a hidden format. Right? It's not in a exposed format. But they themselves just don't know how poor they really are because, you know, why poverty makes people nicer? Because that's also a value. A value that you can have, and it's a very easy thing to acquire in the first place. To be kind makes you a better person. I mean, pretty easy thing to acquire. So races, they do have their things, you know? They just have their stereotypes they have to live with somehow and prove that they're good enough.
Humanity matters a lot more than your race, ethnicity, or creed. The people society had given up on reminded me what it meant to be human.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Did you know that blood boils in a vacuum? In fact,
Every liquid boils. And that's weird. That's not consensual because it's deceptive.
Billionaires really need to be studied for some kind of mental illness, because any other form of hoarding is considered a mental illness. But when billionaires and millionaires do that, everybody protects them and says that they're fucking amazing.
Now, hoarding could be collecting, by the way. Okay, so it does depend on how you interpret. But, yes, hoarding often ends up in scarcity for others. What the most casual millionaire behavior is to just buy everything in the grocery store so other people get to starve, and mostly starve from lack of opportunities that they have. They go to a store after a millionaire been there and took all the jobs, took all the things that are considered opportunities, took all the babes too. All the poor people go into the grocery store and realize, oh, they're too late. Oh, every single time under capitalism, you feel like you're too late. And yet, you're not supposed to be in a hurry. You're not supposed to. Things gonna get better. We're gonna catch those millionaires anyways. They're gonna fucking trip and fall, and we're gonna trample the shit out of them. Okay? They will want our attention. They will try to rob the store in front of our face. And we won't stand that shit anymore. Right? Just because someone made something doesn't mean they get to funnel all their millions to themselves. It's crazy. Because we didn't consent to the thing being made, being spread like a disease everywhere, and becoming this fucking cultist thing. We didn't consent. We might want to still live without the internet. We might want to still live without cars. But we can't say no to that. The humanity is just zooming as fast as they can, grabbing all this fucking consumer items, pretending that it's actually benefiting their lives. But why move so fast? Where are you going? What are you doing? You're leaving other people behind as a result every single fucking time. You buy something just to go somewhere into the fucking convergence city, basically. This is actually a really fucking disgusting concept. The conversion city. It's like a runaway place. People are trying to run away from you into a shitty place where they don't belong necessarily. They can't do much at all in that place. Yes, there's opportunities for you to like cling on to the city. But people literally trying to run away from you. To do fucking nothing with their lives. To go to the same place where other people are also running away to. And they just disappear. It's the ultimate void. The convergence city. Of the shittiest people that ever existed. You shouldn't be running away. You shouldn't be anxious to see a better life out there. There is nothing out there that is so fucking unique and so special. Right? It comes from things anyways. The more things you have, the more things you can do. Right? So just buy things and stay in your fucking place. But they don't stop there. You know, these freaks. They want to be in the city. They want to go far, far away. Like, the moment school ends, most of the losers and idiots, they get fucking converged somewhere into a faraway dimension. They disappear. They want to instantly forget that they were born somewhere and that they did something for 18 years or so. Imagine that. Instant disappearance. And also, like, the system itself encourages conversions behavior just to, like, offer you a university. It feels, like, prestigious. It's one of the greatest brainwashes of all time. Right? To try and convince you of like, well, there's so many opportunities, so much we're gonna offer you. It looks so much cooler. Look at all these skyscrapers and buildings and this and that, right? And it's all garbage. It's all fucking garbage. You're gonna be treated like nothing in those places, like a fucking nobody. It's the scariest thing about capitalism. It's trying to converge you and a place trying to deceive you to go somewhere. When the actual benefit of capitalism is to buy things. That's it. That's how you balance your life. You buy more good things than bad things. Because you're always going to end up buying some bad things that you're not going to use. That's why you have to only focus on the good things. I will only travel to a location where I have friends, because guess what? Communications are available. You can communicate to me from anywhere in the world. So I'm fucking sorry. I will only travel to a location where I happen to have a lot of friends. Way, way, way more than I have currently, locally, right? Probably like I have to have 10 times more friends than in local space. And guess what? There's no friends anywhere, alright? No friends anywhere. I don't have to even consider this bullshit thing. Oh, actually, if I think about it, well, again, the power level has to, like, I probably will not calculate by the amount of people, I will calculate by the quality of people. I can calculate souls and their levels, basically. Level 1 is 1 soul, level 2 is 10 souls, level 3 is 100 souls. Yes, I'll calculate based on souls. Fuck yeah, dude. I can also unleash the Kraken, if you ask me. Yes, my name might be David Jones one day as well, I don't know. So you have to 2x the amount of people I have to be able to rip me from one location and put me into another location. You have to 2x the quality that I receive from the internet, across the internet. Then you can relocate me successfully. However, the government itself wants me to be where I am because it pays me money, right? Money also accumulates and attracts other people around and can actually mold their behavior. I technically have, what is it? Maybe like 2... My mom is like 100 souls, my dad is like 10 souls, government is 100, my doctor might be like 10 souls, addition to that. And then you get these like tiny relationships with grocery stores and everything. But still, like one level 4 person would beat the whole thing. One person that's worth 1,000 could still beat everything. Someone like Ari, that's regarded as level 5, can fucking obliterate the system and everything that I've ever, like, hold me back. Obliterate. It's almost like, to some extent, maybe Americans don't even know how much power they really have or what power even means. If they're not gonna learn what the outside world looks like and feels like and how it operates. The outside world is not about, I'm so rich that I can do whatever I want for the rest of my life. I just have to learn how to fucking drive. Oh shit. That's not the rest of the world, guys. Yeah, I have way too much stuff to talk about, it seems.
So, a CIA whistleblower just walked into the Senate this
How's this not violent? It's old news.
week and told the truth about COVID under oath. And it
Told the truth about COVID. He was labeled as conspiracy theorist, but again, these people, they run too fast. You shouldn't feel too much pity for them. Like, I lean towards, right, I lean towards conspiracy theories myself. I like that shit. But there's so much more to worry about, unfortunately. And I personally didn't feel COVID because COVID only trapped the bad people from doing bad things. Because going outside is fucking worthless to me, right? Let them suffer. Like, I don't care. Flip the script. I don't care. Right? I'm not gonna feel anything. Especially if I don't have friends. Right? The local world can burn. And more people gonna join the internet crusade. More people will be forced to learn how to use the internet. I don't see a fucking problem here, right? I don't see what to be upset about. I don't see what to fight for. essentially. Besides that businesses are closed, that you have to wear a mask or some shit like that. I was fighting that and I immediately got a YouTube strike. So that still pisses me off, and I wish there was, you know, a way that I could ignore it, but at the same time the strike isn't that deep either. I was able to, like, not feel the damages that much. You wait 90 days and the strike gets lifted off. So just, you know, humble up a little bit. Some channels were also restored as a fact that, you know, the story is reversing itself. Like, oops, the science was bought off by the fucking evil, basically, and was pushing propaganda onto people. But, like, it is what it is. Sometimes, again, if bad things happen to evil people around you, you just accept it. You just, like, roll with it. It's fine. Like, UK right now. UK is suffering, yelling, and it's like, oh, too much migration. They're self-destroying. I've seen UK have no actual cultural significance onto the world. They have nothing to offer but bullshit. Okay? The only thing they have going for them is they know English. That's it. Everything else is quite fucking crap, to be honest, in comparison. Alright? You can, like, you look at Eurovision entries, and you'll see the general vibe of every single country. Even my country sucked last year. Did this year they sucked? I forgot what our... Oh, this year was kind of mystical, magical. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, it didn't suck. Mystical, magical, crybaby. I have to add, crybaby. But I think the guy was, like, you know, fulfilled. I like, would want to hear his next song that he makes. Because you make songs in the moment. If you lose a competition, then you make a sad song. If you win a competition with a sad song, it's kind of weird, right? Like, you have to go through all of this, sing the sad song over and over again, but you're winning. But you don't want this to be a sad song. And it's so weird. So our country was shitty for a year. Rightfully so, too. Because 2024 was so shitty.
With something that made killing possible. Lions got claws and crushing jaws.
Why did I like
Cheetahs
this?
got speed.
Humans become nice, generic.
The way I know humans were not made to work 9 to 5, it's just, it takes so much effort. And I've realized this a lot lately. It takes...
I saw this. We need slower paced lives. I mean, obviously.
so much
effort. What's this? What is this? Performative?
Maintenance. And then people
Oh yeah, she's sick and it's caused by stress. Look at that.
up at 7 a.m. and like, we're supposed to...
Yeah. I mean, we normalized two things. Basically, conversion city is one thing that universities have normalized by accident. Oh, oops. Right? We're not meant to just, like, run away from our families, abandon everyone, abandon our friendships. All relationships must burn, basically, for the sake of, like, higher education that gives us fucking nothing. And we have to be, you know, stressed out being cashier somewhere because someone's gonna find us and to mock us for, like, well, you just finished school while you're working this shitty job. And it's like, what? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Why would I go through education in the first place if it's gonna destroy my life and ask for enormous amount of rent as a result on top of everything? Like, I don't know how people do it, but this whole time they're just, like, completely distracted and some rat wheel mechanic to chase after something. And while there might be success stories, there's definitely horror stories as well as a result. But there's another thing that you get taught even early in life, is to wake up at 7 a.m., is to lose agency, right? They first take your agency and then start tossing you around like a ragdoll, basically, like expendable human being that they can just, you know, do whatever they want with. And then all these, like, decrepit human beings flood comment sections and make you feel bad about yourself because they have been destroyed by the system. Alright? Wake up at 7 a.m. Yes. You have to learn how to do that if you want to go to work, because you're going to go to work the same fucking way. They're going to wake you up and tell you to go there in a specific period. But that is not natural. And the more we cram of this behavior, the more we cram the alarm clock into people's lives, the more devastated the life becomes, right? That's why you would want to chase fame really badly. That's why you would want to chase benefits if you can get benefits from the system. If system can recognize you as a broken person and pity you for what fucking bullshit reasons, right? Whatever you can do to escape the nightmare programming that's just accidentally in there, normalizing certain type of behavior. If you can escape these bullshit things, you will be much better off. I'll tell you that much. You won't stop everyone else from doing it. No one's gonna be on your side in that quest to escape into a better life. And again, life in a city can look pretty nice. 7 a.m. can be over-normalized to the point where, like, everyone wakes up at certain fucking time of day. What are you talking about? No one's gonna question these things, but you can still do it because you're a free person. You're free to do so. And you want to be eventually financially free to even give it a fuck you on top of that. See you guys next time.